Hi, now we're going to learn the last chapter of this semester, which is chapter 9, the growth. So in growth, we only have two subtopic for this chapter, which are, the first one is the measurement of the growth. So bawah subtopic yang pertama ini, what we're going to learn is the definition of the growth, and then we're going to learn the three phases of the growth, and we're going also to learn about the parameters of the growth. Okay, so first we're going to look at the definition of the growth. Apa yang dimaksudkan dengan growth adalah a permanent and irreversible increase in the biomass length and width over a specific time. So growth ini dimaksudkan dengan peningkatan yang kekal dan juga tidak boleh berpatah balik dekat pada dia punya biomass ataupun the weight of an organism, length ataupun the height of an organism, width is the diameter of an organism over a specific of time. Okay, secara ringkasnya dia adalah pertumbuhan sesuatu organism yang kekal dan tidak boleh berpatah balik dari segi dia punya biomass, dia punya ketinggian dan juga diameter over a specific of time. So growth ini ada tiga fasa pertumbuhan, iaitu cell division, cell enlargement and cell differentiation. So in each organism, setiap organism mempunyai tiga fasa pertumbuhan, iaitu the first one is the cell division. Apa yang dimaksudkan dengan cell division adalah increase in the cell number by division through mitosis. It means that there is increase in the number of cells due to the cell undergo mitosis. So the cells to undergo mitosis untuk memperbanyakkan jumlah cells. Okay, in this diagram is the growth phases of a plant, where in apical meristem, iaitu dekat root apex of an plant, di sini kawasan sinilah berlakunya cell division, di mana all the cells will undergo mitosis to increase the number of the cell. Okay, semua sel ini akan undergo mitosis untuk menambahkan jumlah sel. Selepas semua sel tersebut bertambah, some of the cell will undergo cell enlargement, where there is increase in the cell size, volume and also the cytoplasmic content. Okay, selepas sel itu membahagi, sel itu akan membesar dalam dia punya size. So berlakunya peningkatan dekat dia punya size, isi padu dan juga content of the cytoplasm. After the cells undergo cell enlargement, the cell will undergo cell differentiation, where sel tersebut akan undergo progressive changes to produce specific function and structure. So sel tersebut dekat zone apical meristem ini adalah dia akan alami cell division, di mana dia akan divide by mitosis to increase the number of the cell, and then at elongation zone ini the cells tu akan alami cell enlargement. Sel itu akan increase in the size, volume and the cytoplasmic content. After that, the cell will undergo differentiation, di mana each of the cells will have specific structure and will have specific function. Contohnya, it will become phloem, it will become xylem. So dia differentiate, membentuk struktur yang tertentu dan menjalankan function yang tertentu. That is the growth phases. So then we're going to look at the growth parameter. What is parameter? Parameter adalah pengukur untuk kadar pertumbuhan sesuatu organism. So there are three parameters that we use to measure the growth of an organism. The first one is the wet mass. Wet mass adalah we measure the mass of an organism with its water content. Kita measure the organism tersebut dengan kandungan air sekali dekat dalam badan dia. So it means that that organism that we measure using the wet mass adalah organism yang masih hidup. It's a live organism. But the disadvantage here adalah organism tersebut, dia punya kadar pertumbuhan akan jadi tidak accurate sebab we calculate the water content as well. The second parameter is the dry mass, di mana kita akan ambil bacaan dia punya mass but without the water content. So when the organism is mass without the water content, it means that organism is die. So dia akan mati dululah. So maksudnya this organism must die, and then we measure the mass without its water. And the last parameter is the length of an organism, iaitu ketinggian organism tersebut. So these are the 3 parameters that we use to measure the growth of any organism. So wet mass, dry mass dan length adalah kayu pengukur untuk kita menguji kadar pertumbuhan sesuatu organism. Okay, that is the first subtopic for this chapter. The second subtopic for this chapter is the growth curve, di mana we going to learn only one curve for this chapter, which is the sigmoid growth curve. So in sigmoid growth curve, we need to know what happened during each phases. So ada 4 phases of the sigmoid growth curve. The first one is lag phase, the second one is log phase, the third one is decelerating phase, and the last one is the plateau phase. In each phases, we need to explain the growth rate of the organism. So the sigmoid growth curve, dia berbentuk S shape. Okay, so dia berbentuk S, and it portray most of the pattern for growth in most of the organism or the population. Okay, so ini adalah graf yang kita boleh hasilkan bila kita measure kadar pertumbuhan sesuatu organism. Okay, so that's why we say that the growth is the permanent and irreversible increase in the biomass length and width over a specific of time. So kita tengok sepanjang masa the growth parameter. So the growth parameter, it could be the height, the length, the mass, also the number of organism. So kita akan measure kadar pertumbuhan population ataupun individu over a specific of time. So sigmoid growth curve ini akan dihasilkan kalau kita measure the growth of an individu ataupun the growth of a population. So kalau the growth of an individu, we use the parameter height, mass and volume. Okay, contoh individu adalah we look at the growth of a bean sprout in a week. So itu adalah the individu punya kadar pertumbuhan. If a population, the parameters that we use is the number of organism over the time. Contoh the growth of population adalah human population as well as population of paramecium. Okay, paramecium pun selalunya kita tengok sebagai satu populasi. So now we're going to look at for each of the curve, for each of the phases in the curve, what happened for the organism. Okay, so this is the curve. So kita akan dapat the S curve. So fasa yang pertama adalah lag phase. So this is the first phase. So in the lag phase, the growth rate is very slow. Okay, why the growth rate is very slow? Because of the organism are adapting to the new environment. So organism tersebut baru diperkenalkan dekat environment yang baru. So it is still adapting. Dia masih lagi membiasakan diri dengan tempat yang baru. And that organism also prepare for the growth. So during the lag phase, yang paling penting adalah this reason, because the organism still adapting to the new environment. Then after the lag phase akan ada the second phases that we call as the log phase. So kalau log phase dia berada pada fasa di sini. So log phase adalah the growth rate is at the maximum, where the number of organism akan increase rapidly. Kenapa the growth rate is at maximum? Disebabkan oleh kawasan tersebut have the sufficient food supply and there are lots of space. Bila ada makanan yang cukup, ada space yang mencukupi, maka the growth rate tersebut akan berlaku secara maksimum. Maksudnya kadar kelahiran akan melebihi kadar kematian. So lebih banyak organism itu membiak berbanding jumlah organism yang mati. Dan pada ketika ini masih tiada lagi pengumpulan of the waste product because the organism is still growing. Okay, so the most important thing dekat log phase adalah the growth rate is at maximum. Why? Because it has sufficient food supply and no accumulation of the waste product. Okay, after the increase in the number of organism in log phase, kita tiba di pada fasa yang ketiga, di mana fasa yang kita panggil sebagai decelerating. So decelerating phase adalah the growth rate will slow down a bit compared to the log phase. Why? Because of the limited food supply and limited space, and due to the lack of food and space, berlakunya competition among the organism itself. So some of the organism akan mati. So that's why lah kadar pertumbuhan itu berkurang. Then pada masa yang sama akan berlakunya accumulation of the waste material. Bahan buangan organism tersebut akan start untuk berkumpul dekat environment tersebut, and it could lead to the disease. So some of the organism akan die due to the disease. Okay, and the population at that environment will reach maturity. So dekat decelerating phase, the growth rate is slowing down due to the limited food supply and accumulation of the waste product. That is the important point dekat dalam decelerating phase. And the last phase is the plateau phase ataupun stationary phase, di mana the growth rate dia adalah pada fasa sini. The growth rate is equals to 0. So there is no growth of individual or the population the population. Sebab apa? Sebab the birth rate is equal to the death rate. Kadar kelahiran sama dengan kadar kematian. Di mana the cells that are still dividing replacing the cells that die. Okay, kadar organism yang membiak ataupun yang grow menggantikan organism yang sudah mati. That's why kita kata growth rate is equal to 0. Di mana at that populations, at that environment, the maximum size of population is achieved. Contohnya, dekat satu-satu kawasan tersebut, contohnya di kawasan Padang, dia hanya mampu menampung sebanyak 50 ekor kucing sahaja. So that 50 number is the carrying capacity. It means that that environment can only support 50 cats only. So itu kita panggil sebagai carrying capacity. So that is the sigmoid growth curve where kita ada 4 fasa. Fasa yang pertama adalah lag phase, di mana the organism is still adapting to the environment. So the growth rate is very slow. The second thing adalah log phase, di mana the growth rate is at maximum. There is increase in the number of organism due to the sufficient food supply and sufficient space. There is no accumulation of the toxic waste. And number 3, decelerating phase, di mana di situ the growth rate slowing down again disebabkan limited space and limited food, dan juga berlaku accumulation of waste product. Number 4, stationary. The growth rate is equal to 0 because of the birth rate is equal to the death rate. Okay, so itu sahaja yang kamu belajar dekat dalam chapter 9. So we only learn about the sigmoid growth curve, and then the growth parameter, growth phases, and the definition of the growth. Okay, so that is the thing that you learn in this chapter. So we already finished the whole chapter for this semester, and what you need to do is to just prepare for your exam. That's